Hello, everybody. Welcome to tonight's streaming. Pog beanie. Yeah, it's the Annie beanie. I got the Annie beanie. Yeah. But hello, everybody. Welcome to another streaming of the UraKen White Showdown tournament. We are going to be watching Era Zenith go ham at it up against Le Flex Gang, if I remember correctly. And this is just a chatting screen. I've got a new screen for when we get in game, but I just thought, please fix the tie. One-handed boomer, bro. It's a half tie, bro. It's a what's it called? A half Windsor. Don't ban my API earlier, please. Don't worry, dude. Secret safe with me, bro. Don't worry. So I try and show up, try and look kind of fancy. The hat kind of sells it out, but we are out here. We got the sick vibes. We got the sick tunes. We got some good League of Legends happening tonight. Thank you for the follow. I think it's, am I reading that right? Nuo. Berta Joe Star, thank you for the follow. KC Kit, Go Flex Gang. We got the Flex Gang fans all up here in chat, getting ready to watch some Poggers League of Legends. Now, we're just going to get I'm feeling nervous about your cast. I don't feel nervous. I've been doing this for quite some time now. The Arrow boys all know me quite well. And I get resident sleeped by Hextech Spartan all the time in my chat for literally no reason at all. But here we are. But I do wish you all the best of luck to the Flex Gang and to the Arrow boys. I wish you guys all the best of luck for the series. May the best team win. But here is the main screen, which we have got going here. Thank you, Kitano, for the follow. Just please do remind, if I'm saying it wrong, you must shout at me, and I'll repronounce it if you want me to. But yeah, so now we've got the new setup for the streams, for the champion select and all that hullabaloo. And then we've got the just chatting screen, and then we've obviously got some banging tunes playing. I'm always taking requests. But yeah, so I'm gonna give them casters ready. So caster ready. All right, boys and girls, let's get right into it. We have got some good League of Legends coming. Gonna be hopping into Champ Select. Let's get the right and appropriate music up and running. There we go. So now I've got it all tuned up. So let's get ready and let's go. Hey, it's Cappy, the suit. Let's go. Yeah, we're rocking the suit, bro. We're rocking the suit today. It's kind of popping. I kind of look like I'm from Hitman. But then the Tibbers thing kind of just defeats the whole Hitman thing. But yeah, it's been a while, Cappy Caps. It's nice to see you again. Welcome, welcome. A lot's changed, but it's improved. And then Toby is making me drink. It's just water. If you asked me earlier, like 2 days ago, well, not even last night, there would have been vodka in it. All right. So we should be heading into Champ Select relatively soon. Just waiting on the confirmation from everyone. You're here for your boy, and then Nino. Damn. Nino really feeling the love here, hey? Hello for my fellow top laner. At least there's love here. But we do believe that I believe that everyone is ready to go. So we're kind of just getting the last minute preparations in. I probably should move chat up there. Rather. Was gonna cut from the friends list kind of side of things, but yeah. But how has everybody been doing? How's everyone in chat going? How was their weekends? I know you love Nino. I know you do. Alright, this song goes hard. I'll just turn this up a little bit. My weekend's so good. Just won the Athena tournament over here. Yeah, I saw on Twitter. Well done, ladies. Yuko are the Athena champions here. They're kind of smurfing at it. I need to turn my music down. So that's really cool to hear about that. You guys took down 80k. I'm really, really proud of all of you. I didn't get to catch much of the game. I'm gonna catch a bit of the game after this one. And I heard Munch got a pentakill. I heard Munch she got a pentakill on Yone or Yasuo, one of the two. And then she was first timing them. He's wearing the suit. Yeah, she's the queen. Yeah, I mean, Yasuo Yone pentakills are always quite satisfying to get and to watch. I wish I could have watched it. I'm gonna go back again and watch it. I'll catch some of the highlights on. It was on the Athena channel, right? Not she. Always on Sheepies. The Athena channel. All right, I'll go catch it on there. I'll catch the VOD on there after this, and I can see how you girls performed in that last match. Because you guys look good in that. Looked good in the match that I was able to cast. You guys did this massive comeback, but there's so many memes going around. There was the one meme that was showed on my stream. It was actually quite funny. I really liked it. While they sort out the lobby, we're just gonna pop this up quickly. Me also needed that XD. Scarlet was toxic to me, man. Well, I'm sorry about that. League of Legends is it's just one of those games, unfortunately. But you came out the victor. You came out the better person. Big poggers in the chats to everybody. But now, when do you guys play your next set of your tournaments? Or are you guys going to be on a bit of a break? Yeah, I believe that Yuko are in this one. Yeah, I could be wrong. I haven't really looked at all the teams. I don't know who's playing who. So I'm gonna go and do some of that. I need to do some of that research because gotta give a clap and a hug to our socials manager, to the Era socials manager. She has been really putting in the hard yards to get all the matches out and everything, and she's been making sure to get me all the PNGs for all the streams and whatnot. So shout out to Goose. She's been helping out quite a lot, and I'm very grateful for her because it saves me a bit of time. I'm able to get assignments done, and I'm not worrying about stream as well as getting assets done as well. So really big clap to her. I don't think she's here. I think she might either be she's playing or she is busy at the moment, but yeah, just wanted to do that quick shout out there. And then, yeah. So maybe I should take a look at the groups. Should I? Yeah, let's go find it. Let's go find the groups quickly for the UraKen. So, where is UraKen? Alright, I can't find the UraKen on the Discord. But it's okay. It's from you 250 to the cooking stream challenge. Oh, so you took notice of the cooking stream. Oh goodness, oh gracious. That's why it's 100,000, boys and girls. But that is the plan, to do a cooking stream. Why not be 2,000 to the cooking stream challenge? Oh goodness gracious. Am I gonna regret this? What we cooking? I don't really know yet. I don't expect us to get to this goal for at least a month. But I was gonna do like this spicy chicken pasta that I've really been loving. So spicy chicken pasta do be the way to go. Cooking easy, my G. Yeah, and it's probably gonna add some entertainment to it. It's gonna be. I'm gonna have to try and make it like an extension cable for my headphones, and then use my laptop as the stream. I'll have two cameras, most likely. I'll have my laptop cam, and I'll have this cam, this webcam, in going. So get the double view, double angle, and then I'll get some like all cool bips and bobs, just so you guys can get all the views. I promise you, I'm not just gonna do the air fryer. Just put everything in the air fryer. Now we get to vote. You get to vote on what I get to cook. Okay. Well then I'm gonna. How am I gonna? I need to get these ingredients, bro. Better not be expensive. The bed cam. All right. We are gonna head into game now, as we are gonna go into main screen. All right. So now we are into champ select. Sorry, I just needed to get the last few things done. But Toby gets the redeem the first, so he's the first boy here. So perks to him for noticing. But we do see the Silas ban is going to be coming out there. And then along with the Yuumi, Silas being one of the strongest mid laners in the game right now, can be flexed into the jungle role as well as a bit in the top lane. And then Yuumi, we all know Yuumi. We all know like the Yuumi, especially in utilizing and making that one hyper carry way too strong. So the Olaf also getting banned away, which is definitely the way to go. And then the Morgana being taken away from the support role. I'm trying to think who is. I believe it is either Omega or Nino in this playing support today. But then it is actually now going to be the Wukong ban in the jungle. So now, what are these first picks going to be? We do see the Shyvana is going to be locked in the jungle, but then the GP gets insta-locked right away by the Flex Gang. And then the Jarvan is going to be taken out, picked up as well. Jarvan, one of the, in fact, the strongest jungler in League of Legends right now. And then the Maokai now being locked in. And then the Aurelion Soul. These teams do definitely have a team comp that they have built quite well. Bans coming out relatively quickly. But now we are going into that second phase. The Aurelion Soul mid, Shyvana and Maokai can be flexed. Could be Shyvana top, could be Maokai top. So it is all a matter of time. And we got to see what happens there. But then the Darius gets taken away. That is likely getting rid of the hyper carries. The Irelia getting taken away as well. We did get a bit of preemptive warning that there was a bit of an AP Irelia angle, but I think maybe there was more to it. So that is unfortunately no Irelia there available. And then finally, the Mordekaiser is going to be taken away from Zenith. And then the cannon taken away in the top lane. Oh gosh, wait, chat's covering the right sections. Oh goodness, I didn't realize that. Let me move it. Let me just hide chat just for a little while. I'll just hide chat, unfortunately. But then we do see that is going to be the Jinx and the Thresh lock in there. Thank you so much for Shaman for us for telling me about that. I probably wouldn't have seen it. That's my bad. I'll fix it next time. But then the Jinx, Thresh, and the bot lane and the Xayah, Leona are going to be locked in. So now we have got the final loadouts we've got to see. It is going to likely be the jungler, Maokai in the jungle, Spartan playing Shyvana in the top lane, Aurelion Soul mid for Nino, Jinx in the bot lane on Henio, and Omega Hotshot picking up the Thresh. But then we do see the Leona and the Xayah in the bot lane, Ari mid, Jarvan in the jungle, and that is going to be Gangplank top lane. What are we thinking? Let's get some predictions out. What do we think is going to happen here, boys and girls? Let's do that. And now let's go boom. Who is going to take it? Is it going to be Era or is it going to be Le Flex Gang? LFG. Okay, so you guys, okay, I'll give you 5 minutes. I'll give you 5 minutes to do the vote, okay? You guys got 5 minutes. But I'm going to quickly go refill my water and adjust my chat and everything for Champ Select. So I will see you all in a jiffy. Alright, ladies and gentlemen, we are finally in game in this UraKen White Showdown match between Zenith and LeFlex Gang. I do apologize about LeFlex Gang's icon in the top right. It's I tried my best to fit it, but it didn't fit nearly as well as I would have liked. So that is my bad, but I'll be sure to try and fix it for the next match. But alright, so we do see nothing particularly out of the ordinary going on. No invades, none of that jazz. It's just a matter of holding the line, holding each entrance of the jungle to prevent any possible invades. But then they do suspect the Shyvana top lane as well, with the Jarvan likely going to be starting that red buff, while the Maokai wants to start in that bot side. With the victorious Maokai, may I add. But now this roster this is the debut for Zenith. Some of these players have not been playing for quite some time and have made their return to League of Legends. I'm talking to you, X-Tech Spartan. I'm talking to you, Nino. They're coming out hot and ready. But Nino on the Aurelion Soul. We love to see it. And then we do see Henio is reprising his role as AD carry in this match, while we have Mr. Omega Hotshot sitting on the Thresh. Gonna be very hard engaged bot lanes, and not too surprised to say that I see a Jinx and a Xayah bot lane, two of the strongest AD carries in the game, in terms of scaling and in terms of what their value is to their team. But Spartan having a bit of a rough time into the Gangplank. It is unfortunately to be expected. Gangplank is not exactly a very fun matchup for any melee abusers. But there does appear to be wanting a level 2 for Yaskau in the mid lane on the Aurelion Soul. But will immediately go and continue clearing his camps. While Henio and Omega Hotshot are going to likely get up this level 2. They are going to push forward. We'll get the level 2. We'll get that push. And now Aurelion Soul doing what he does best and just farming out the wave. As a personal Aurelion Soul enjoyer myself, do very much love the champion and its design and his new rework. First time we're seeing it on a competitive stage, so very happy to see that it's getting some gameplay. Well, one thing for sure I am quite surprised on is that the Shyvana hasn't gone in particularly early, especially with the E. Up, the Q does land Mega Hotshot, but there will be the immediate cleanse from McKit. Or KC Kit. I said Mac Kit, oh my goodness. But we do see Maokai is going for an invade onto the Jarvan. He is only level 2. And does look like he's going to try to get him out there, but that is going to be the flash away, and then the Maokai will steal away the buff. That is still only a level 2 Jarvan. There is not really much the level 2 Jarvan could really have done there to contest that, while Gromulon does take up the free blue buff. And more pressure for the bot lane in particular. Henio very comfortable on this Jinx. Very curious to see what he can pull out, especially with Jinx being in meta. But I'm surprised we didn't get any Melio picks this match, because Melio is quite broken and is available to them, I believe. But for Nino, taking quite a lot of damage, as that's going to be a flash auto attack from Ori. Is that going to be a dead Aurelion Soul? It is, and that is first blood going over to Nuwo. Little bit of an overextend for Nino. Did not have any mana to really trade back, so went for the is going to go for the Rod of Ages from the build path that we are seeing here. But Spartan has to tank the brunt of all these barrels from the Gangplank. Can't really do much about it. Cookie and Nino. Yo, Cookie Lol would not be happy about that. I don't think Cookie would really like Nino, because Cookie only likes people under the age of 15. Just saying. But now we see the wave is going to be reshoving into bot, while Spartan is just waiting for the GB to push the wave in. He is suffering a little bit on the CS score. Why did I almost said CC score on 3 occasions? My goodness. But Bot lane, very comfortable. Only about 5 minions difference, not even 5. It's about 3 minions difference. Mid lane, also just a farming lane, particularly for the Aurelion Soul. All he wants to do is farm the waves, but we'll just W out. Does not want much to do with that. Hotshot is looking for a Q, is looking for a loophole. Does not find it, but Jarvan has made their way bot lane now. There is no vision available as Leona goes for the engage. The traps are dropped. The Mega Hotshot's in a lot of trouble. Gets rooted by the Dire feathers. But there will be an immediate flash for him. As then does land the hook onto the Leona. Go for a quick trade. Does not continue. Set flash ult. True, true. But now, that is now no flash available for the Thresh. Can't really go for those hard engaged hooks. But Gromulon does look like he wants to take a fight here. There is Cleanse is not available. The Lantern comes in. Gromulon does land the GP ulti coming out. Flash there. Tries to predict it, but Nano 2 does not have flash. Jinx will do the rocket auto and will get that flash auto attack and will get that kill there. Putting Zenith on the board. Ahri chasing through the towers and will survive. Picking up the Ahri. Picking up the Aurelion Soul. Putting 2-0 for Nuo. But Ahri is going to be able to get out. Gromulon and Omega Hotshot not going to be able to chase her down. She does have the item advantage here. But gold-wise, about 600 gold lead for Ahri. The first strike going to come in quite handy for Aurelion Soul in just like managing to get some poke off. Shyvana about 200 gold behind, but we do see the ult coming out from Shyvana there. A lot of damage with a PTA proc. The barrel's being procced as well, but the Shyvana having to back out. But that's now the flag and drag coming in there from the Jarvan. Hextech Fontaine is going to have to flash away. And that will be no flash for Spartan and no ulti. But Shyvana ulti does get lower cooldown the more minions you hit, so it kind of works out for her. And bot lane, Jinx went for the boots first along with double longsword. So he's going to be a little bit more mobile, have that little bit more attack speed at the cost of some damage. But Nino is probably just going to try and end up playing this as safe as they possibly can. We do see Gromulon has made their way bot, but we'll be clearing out the wards there. Barrels landing for GP, and that is always the most satisfying sound when GP clears a whole wave and gets a first strike proc. It's just magnifique. But Shyvana is going to be doing some armor, picking up some armor, while the rest of Zenith are going to be in that bot side, are going to be picking up that dragon for relatively free. Jarvan nowhere in sight, and that is going to be the Hextech Dragon going over to Zenith. Now we do see Gromulon is going to be looking for a rotation to top side through mid. Or he's going to go clear his Raptors first. That's probably a better option. But if you're in this situation as Aurelion Soul, you really don't want to actually force any fights. You only want to take a fight if you absolutely have to. But sidesteps coming out from Nino. My goodness, fancy feet out here. As the GP at 8 minutes does get the full Essence Reaver. Gotta love how balanced Gangplank is. Charm does land. Ahri does go for the charm forward, but the Maokai will drop the Nature's Grasp. Will try and go for this Ahri, but does realize that the Jarvan is nearby, so that will not trade that. So Nino having a bit of a hard time. But the gold lead is still relatively even. As now Henio and Omega want to look for a play here. Jinx does have the advantage. They do have the summoners. As you see the engage coming from Leona there. The traps land. Leona does land. So the play onto Jinx. And GP ulti coming out. Omega has to try and get away. It's Ignite. Is stunned by Leona. Henio trying their best to cut it out. Will be able to use the Sumac Death Rocket. And will... Oh! And Casey Kit barely surviving. But now we do see Exec Spawn is going to be jumping onto the Jarvan there. Do get smited away. The Radiant Soul does drop the ultimate. But that is going to likely be a dead Jarvan as Nino does pick up the kill. And despite that, GP does end up picking up the Rift Herald. While Henio is going to get a free wave push. But that is rather unfortunate coming out there for Henio. That one last auto attack did just not do enough to take down the Xayah. While Aurelion Sol doing what he does best, and that's farming. I think that's exactly what he needs to do. But Omega is now looking mid lane. There's no ulti available. Up, hook does not land, but Gromulon has made their way mid now as well. Charm lands onto Omega, but there will not be any further commitments on that one. So now, Nino getting a bit more freedom in the lane. We had having his jungle and mid just helping him push the wave. Lions pick up a cheeky reset, while now Omega spots out the Jarvan, and smites will be exchanged. While smite for Scuttle is exchanged smite for blue, but Spartan is trying to stack up that ulti, is trying to get ready for that all-in. Likely going to be able, I don't know how well the all-in is going to be, particularly against that GP there. But then the hook does land onto Nanitude, as they're trying to prep for the next dragon. Speaking of dragon, the space dragon soars his way back to lane, while GP drops that Rift Herald, just wants to get a couple of platings. Not going to really get much more out of it, so he may as well use it. So that's going to get about one plate. Well, Shyvana taking quite a lot of damage from that crit barrel. And yeah, now we are back in the calm with now a 2,000 gold lead for the Flex Gang. But with Maokai is looking to come bot now. Does have the Nature's Grasp available. While Thresh also does have Flash Up, no heal up for Henio. So very likely going to be no engage there, but Thresh is going to walk onto the Jarvan. Does have the flash available, drops the traps there, will drop the Cataclysm, Omega flashing out. Gromulon does drop the Nature's Grasp. Jarvan has flash, but cannot move, as that is now reset city for Jinx, as she gets excited, but Nua makes her way bot lane as well. Aurelion Sol getting there, but Omega using the lantern to get them out. Jinx taking a lot of damage. Zap does not connect. Auto attack connects, but Ignite might get the reset as that shutdown goes over to Jinx, picking up a double kill. Henio very comfortable here. Nino is going to be running down this Leona. Does not have the W available, not just yet. We'll try and get some damage off, but that Leona is out of there. But that is very well played going over to Zenith, as Henio picks up a double kill, putting him now at 3-0, and he is in a very, very comfortable spot. Now we're just watching some premium ward clearage gameplay. But now we see more and more armor being picked up from Spartan. But Gangplank is going to be Gangplank and does have double the farm of the Shyvana, despite only having 40 CS lead and a kill. But it's likely because he's got Treasure Hunter as well. So let's do this. So there we go. So we can now, okay, it doesn't work. It's not showing. But he is believed to be running the Treasure Hunter. No, he is not. He's not running the Treasure Hunter. He is running the Transcendence. So must just a lot of gold, just general GP passive as well. But playing around the bot lane is going to be key. This Jinx does have a full Kraken Slayer and a pickaxe. Going to be churning out a lot of damage now. So as long as they keep this Jinx alive, it should be relatively smooth sailing for Zenith. But speaking of that, there is a dragon coming up. Jarvan is there. And the Flex Gang are going to be getting the push on the wave. But Aurelion Sol is trying to stack up the ulti. Almost has the Skies Descend. So I am rather curious to see. So the Aurelion Sol just needs to pick up like 2 or 3 minions, I believe. So he just needs to be able to eat that wave. We'll be able to pick up one, as there's going to be multiple members starting the dragon, but the Nature's Rod's coming out, the GP ulti lands. Henio's in the back line, but there's a TP coming in from the Gangplank. That Gangplank is in a really good spot for the Jinx, but Henio's going to have to kite it out. GP gets onto the Jinx. Jinx is kiting out as best he can, but cannot do enough. Nino going to have to run away. But Nino will not be able to do enough damage. That Gangplank getting the perfect flank with the TP onto that Jinx. And now that is 4 members dead. And it is only a Spartan available. But Spartan is not going to contest it. Is going to opt to just push that bot wave. While GP very calmly walks back, TP's back, well, not TP's, goes back to top lane, has 2 full items already. It's 15 minutes, and he's got 2 full items. This is just Gangplank, isn't it? This is just the Gangplank. Can't really see otherwise. ASL stack check. All right, we can take a look at that. Let's go take a gander. So I can't show you guys, but the stats, he's at 122 stacks at the moment. So he did just use the Sky's Descent, so he got the full 75 stack. But other than that, he hasn't really gotten much. Well, Gromulon is donating him a very nice blue buff. As we see, this is just not a fun lane for the Shyvana. Going tank Shyvana, this GP has got so much gold. He is so far ahead. But Gromulon biding his time. Aurelion Sol does not have the Sky's Fall. I know the big one's called the Sky's Descent, but the Jinx picks up the first tower in the bot lane. That's exactly what you want. But now they do look like they are going to commit onto this Gangplank here. Gangplank is caught out, got nowhere to run, and there's going to be a shutdown going over to the Maokai, but the Cataclysm will come out from the Jarvan going on the back line. As Aurelion Sol trying to do some damage, but Ari with a Spirit Rush able to pick up 2. And that is now Ari with 2 kills. 7 and 1 for her. And that is now Rift Herald did no one pick up the Rift Herald was de-aggroed. No one picked it up. As now Jinx is going to pick up her 2nd tower. Already picked up 1 in the bot lane. So is going to try and pick up another one. And that's going to be more gold for this Jinx. So, but then there will be a traded bot lane tower. As the gold is only about 500 gold difference. Jinx sitting very comfortably ahead of the Xayah. While on the other hand, that GP is absurdly far ahead. That GP is absurd. Like, he's got 8,300 gold. He's in debt. He's got 2.5 items already. Jarvan is behind the Maokai. The Aurelion Sol kind of is struggling a little bit into the Ahri right now. But that first strikes and as well as the stats coming from the stacks will start coming into play. As now Henio picking up a free red buff. But Rift Herald will be started, looking like it's going to be started again, or they're just going to be preparing for it. Gromulon does catch out Nortitude. Nortitude does get by the Jinx Trap. The Solar Flare coming out there. The Threshold goes wide. Henio needs to get out of there. Omega Hotshot doing their best. Drops the box. Flag and Drag not there. GP drops the barrels. But Omega Hotshot's going to have to flash. Gromulon is low. Is going to drop the Nature's Grasp. Henio is walking up. Leading the charge. A lot of damage there. Aurelion Sol drops the only stuns the GP. GP ulti does go out. But the Sumac Death Rock not able to get the reset there. Xayah uses the ulti to dodge the Jinx auto attack. Cataclysm coming out of Jinx. Jinx will fall, but Hextech Spartan drops the Dragon ulti. As now they continue the chase on 3 very low health bars of the Flex Gang. But that is now Rift Herald in favor of Zenith, as they played that as well as they could have. Jinx doing her best to churn out as much damage before getting taken down by the Cataclysm. But also bought their team some time so they could pick up that Rift Herald. And now Aurelion Sol does have 2 items. Gotta bear that in mind. As well as the Jinx has 2 items as well. So it is just all a matter of scaling. And I think scale as much as there is a Gangplank, and Gangplank will scale very quickly. Aurelion Sol and Jinx do scale really hard, as well as the Shyvana, actually, with the dragons picks up some extra resistances to make it a little bit chunkier, a little bit harder to kill. Yeah, but I'm going to do another quick stat check on the Aurelion Sol. Sitting at 164 stacks. We don't know how close he is to his ultimate now, his Grand Starfall. But his E has gotten a hell of a lot larger. His Q is max, so now it's infinite cooldown. Now you can just E and EQ waves and just absolutely just annihilate the wave. And with no objectives up, not yet. It's just farming for everyone, basically. Now, we take a look. Xayah does also have the Kraken Slayer and the Caulfield's Hammer, so there's an item down on the Jinx. But this does make up for as Leona is 2 for 1 for 2, full locket already, as well as the plated steel caps. I almost call them Ninja Tabi. Gromulon does catch out this Jarvan here, not able to get the flag and drag. The drink traps are dropped. W does land. The Jinx Rocket gets blocked by Nuwa as Aurelion Soul ulti does land, but KC Kid has to flash. As now there is going to be a TP from the Gangplank. That is 3 ultimates used. Shyvana does still have ulti, so does the Thresh. But Shyvana is top, does have the TP available. But the Jinx will take down Gromulon as the ulti Cataclysm is dropped onto the back line. Jinx is trying her best to cut it out. Actually cutting out from Henio. Henio picking up 1. But now Nino has made their way back. The Zap slowing down this Gangplank as much as they can, kiting it out. But that will be Nino picking up the trade kill as Gangplank gets the 1-shot. As that now is a dragon over to FlexGang. But was it worth? That is 3 members dead for 3. It is fairly even. Gold is 2k ahead in favor of the FlexGang. But Spartan is going to pick up this top tower, so should likely even out the gold a little bit more. There you go. The gold's still very even, very tight between these 2 teams. Xayah is unfortunately yet to pick up a kill, which is rather unfortunate considering she is one of the main sources of damage to get into that back line. Jinx is able to free auto, was able to cut it out as well, very, very well from Henio, picking up the double in that team fight. Now, the Thresh did opt for the even Shroud rather than the Locket, so wants to play more of an aggressive fighter rather than the passive Lantern Thresh. While the Jinx is farming up to try and get their last item. Wants to try and get that Phantom Dancer, but we do see there's going to be an engage coming out on a Mega Hot Shot. But nothing much more will happen from there. As the ulti comes out, there is now a TP coming in from Aurelion Sol. But was this a smart TP? As Aurelion Sol Lantern does not take the Lantern, just W's out. But the Solar Flare does get used by the Leona, so that is one big engage tool that is missed. As now, the Aurelion Sol does have the Sky's Descent, does have the Omega ulti. The big boy ulti. So it does look like the Zenith want to fight. They are going to drop the Rift Herald mid lane. And they do want to try and open this mid lane, particularly so they can play more for Baron. As you do see, they are looking for the hard engage. Aurelion Sol playing just out of vision here. Charge goes off. The Aurelion Sol E is quite large. It is taking majority of the lane. Thresh does land the hook, does land the play, but the GP ulti will come out. There is now a TP coming in from Shyvana. Gangplank is there. That is 5v5. Does have 3 barrels up. So only ulti that we used was Thresh ulti, as well as the Maokai ult. But the Maokai will have ult shortly. As the GP ult is burned, and the Solar Flare will be up shortly. So pushing these waves is what they want. Charm does land onto Gromulon, but Omega Hotshot taking a big chunk of damage on the barrel. Jinx kiting it out. It's caught in the Cataclysm, but it's autoing down that Jarvan. That Jinx has gone crazy. Aurelion Sol summons the Sky's Descent. Big AoE damage. Jinx does not land the Zap, but does land the Super Mega Death Rocket, and that is a triple kill for Henio. As now Zenith look to push out that mid lane, look to try and end the game here with the excited from Jinx. Will they be able to do it? That is 20-second cooldown. The next person up will be Leona as well as the Jarvan. Are they going to commit for it? Are they going to go for the end? It does look like it. They are going to go for the end with the Jinx. The Jinx getting that ramping attack speed, clearing out objectives. Are they going to go for it? It does not look like they are going to go for the full end. As Jarvan and Leona do spawn, Aurelion Sol is going to be hopping out. But now Henio is a big monster. He has sitting on 3,000 gold right now. Does have a full PD in base. And one thing's for sure, if you want to shut down this Jinx, you're going to have to work very hard. Because there is some excellent peeling coming out from this Maokai. Dropping the Nature's Grasp. Keeping any of the RE dashes to get onto that back line. But that will be a GP ulti to try and catch out Henio, as Henio has to burn the flash. That is a very key summoner burned ulti traded for for the Jinx flash is quite valuable. But now, they do prepare that this is going to be the last fight, as there's an Elixir of Iron picked up for the Maokai. And yeah, so now we see the Xayah is going to... The Jinx does have the full PD, does have the BF Sword and the Vamp Scepter. So it's not going to be working towards that Bloodthirster. And with the Baron pressure in favor of Zenith, all they need is one pick. They do spot out the Gangplank and the Jarvan. As Leona and Ahri do get walked there, Aurelion Sol does drop the ulti. Does not land the stun, unfortunately. So that is no Aurelion Sol ulti up for this fight. So I wouldn't say it's as crucial, more or less, kind of trying to get the picks. The big ulti is kind of what you want to aim for. It's kind of the main point of team fight. So it does appear that they are just going to try and go for the Dragon rather than the Baron. If the Flex Gang want to contest this, try and get onto the third Dragon, they can. But optimally, they could go and try and pick up Baron and trade. But now it does seem like the Zenith are going to be starting that Dragon. Aurelion Sol as well as Henio are going to be doing that relatively quickly. And now that is 2 Dragons to 2. And no Baron started. But it does look like Zenith are going to go straight from Dragon to Baron. And with the Hectex bot now got quite a bit of armor, he is going to be relatively hard to kill, I would say, as Maokai does drop the Nature's Grasp, takes a lot of damage from the GP barrel. Jinx 2 drops Super Mega Death. Rocket is not excited just yet. Gromulon gets taken down by the GP, but Henio is fighting out as well as he can, getting those rocket autos. It has no flash, but the Thresh Hook saves the Jinx. Jinx picks up 2. Aurelion Sol cleans it up, as now that is a double kill for Nino, as he is going to go and just look to push down mid. It is him versus the Leona. And those are super minions pushing in from the mid lane. But Leona does look like she wants to take the fight here. But Nino does not care. He is going to take out that tower. Going to drop the W. Going to take the whole wave. Just showing absolutely no respect for this Leona, who is actually... Leona is actually almost solo killing the Dragon. Leona is solo killing the Dragon. Dragon can't do anything. Does drop the W. Or does drop the E. The Q does not drop the Minty Fresh. But Leona's... she's going ham. Aurelion Sol will be able to fly away eventually. Just took a little bit more time than it would have wanted to. So, epic 1v1 coming out there between the Leona and the Aurelion Sol. As now we are in the end game, folks. There's only 1,000 gold lead in favor of Zenith. The Gangplank is carrying that amount of money. He is full build. Cheated. My money was on Leona. Oh, come on, man. We do see that he's going to be a Baron pickup on the top side. Nino is bot lane by himself, but will just use his W to get away, as that is going to be a free Baron picked up for Zenith. Henio is getting excited. Does land the zap onto the Gangplank, but you do not want to get caught in those Gangplank barrels. That is a 4-item Gangplank. And he has got 70-odd% crit. So that is a lot of damage that could happen to a poor little Jinx. But now Aurelion Sol TP's in. That is 5 members pushing down mid with Baron, with supers. Well, with no supers, with just Empowered Cannon minions. But Aurelion Sol will demolish that wave very quickly. Jinx auto doing a lot of damage. Xayah has to burn the Feather Storm to dodge some of the autos. Thresh lands the hook, but Henio gets the reset. Henio is excited, gets to the back line. Shyvana gets jump over Cataclysm, killing out the Jinx, but the Jinx gets lanterned out of the Cataclysm. And that is Jinx absolutely going wild. She is very excited. The hook does go wide there. As now, this fight looks like it's being turned by the GP, but Spartan and Nino are doing their best to take down Nuwa. And that is a double kill in favor of the Shyvana. And that is an ace for Zenith. They got to take out the respawn inhibitor. And they are going to end the game here. And this does look like it is going to be game 1 going to Era Zenith. Alrighty, everybody. It is GG's over to Era Zenith. They take game 1 of this 2-match series, and I got a report feedback that is the most poggiest of pogs. But if we take a look at these two teams, they were close the entire time, and it was very intense. But I think at this point, keeping that Jinx alive was your main focus. And I think, unfortunately, Gangplank was not able to do a lot of damage. But yeah, I wore a suit and the hat. It's the Tibbers hat. It's the Tibbers hat, Grom. Come on, man. It's Tibbers. I bought it. I got it at Rage like 4 years ago. But that does mean I got to do the predictions. So that is the predictions going over to Era as they take game 1. But it is good hat. It is good hat. It is a beanie that has lasted me a good long time. And my camera is still not focusing on me, man. Why is my camera still not focusing on me? Focus on me. I am the source of the camera. Come on. Alrighty. So I will take you now to take a look at some of the stats of that match. So are they going to let us see the stats? The focus is on Jinx. At least the tie is straight. Use secondary. But now we take a look at this damage here. Gangplank still coming in clutch with the most damage in the game. Jinx not too far behind. Ari coming in a close second. And then pretty much the rest all kind of tying out there. Now if we take a look at some of the other stats there, particularly the largest crits. If we want to look at the Gangplank crits. So largest critical strike. Gangplank crit for 1,293. Where Xayah crit for 4,400. Interesting crits. Interesting. But definitely to be expected. So now we are going to just wait out to see when the second game is going to be beginning. Going to be getting in there relatively soon. But then we get to look at Spartan's stats here. It shows us Spartan's runes. So the percentage of game active, 59%. Total armor, 16 seconds in combat at max 38 seconds. Sheesh, man's pogging. But we're also going to take a look at the damage taken. So Maokai coming in clutch with the damage taken there. Gold earned, obviously, it's the Gangplank thing is 16,000. The CS score, also, it goes to the Gangplank. Henio missing it by 1 minion. That troll top at level 1. Kek W. I mean, that was your fault. I don't know what you were doing, personally, but I do kind of respect the grind. I don't know the limits of Shyvana top lane, so I trusted your judgment there. Okay, just gotta fix the tie and all that jazz. Dude, I didn't even know about those buttons on the scoreboard. Yeah, thanks for teaching me. Oh, it's a pleasure, Mr. Omega. So yeah, you can now look at the vision score too. So now we're taking a look at the vision score. Thresh coming out to 66, and then the hot 47 coming up for Leona, topping it there. But Henio, I got some questions for you, man. What's the 7 vision score, bro? 7? 7? You've probably placed like 3 wards down at most. Come on, Henio. You're like diamond, my guy. As per usual. 2 wards. I mean, that is the Henio we know. All damage, no wards. It's just a Henino thing. I remember back in 2003. Where are we going with this? He bought a pink ward. I don't think I've seen a pink ward in Henio's inventory ever. So the fact that you've seen it, that's like you could sell that memory for money, bro. That was the first and probably the last time, realistically speaking. So yeah. We should find out when we're gonna get back into game. But I have added new buttons. I don't have Bella here at the moment, so if you want pets on Bella, I'll get Bella and give her some pets for you. But also, how far are we on the cooking stream? I need to take a look at that. How close are we? 4% raised. We are getting there. We're getting there. Just luckily Floppy isn't using his plethora of points yet. We already know that man has got too many points. A man can very easily just Justin Cam. All right, we'll get the full cam. We'll get the full cam while we wait. All right. This is the full cam. It is welcome. This is the fit. It's the Hitman suit along with the Tibbers beanie. Had to pull it out. Had to show some drip, and it is the drippiest of the drip. I'm just trying to go through music, dude. Wally wanted to say that's Hitman. Did you mean Wally or Willolly? I don't know who you're talking about, but I'm assuming it's Wally. But it's like a Hitman outfit. It just so happened to be my red tie. I do have black ties and all my high school ties, but I didn't think that was particularly going to be appropriate for the stream. So, yeah. But now we're just going to be vibing for a little while. We wait for the match to go through. I will also be taking some song requests if possible. Tell me you're only wearing underpants right now. I cannot confirm or deny any of this information without the presence of my lawyer, or in this case, my mods. So that will not be answered, no. Yeah, dang it. Me like you hate me cause you love me, low key wanna date. Invitational. All right, what song is this? Oh, this is we got some more funk going here. I can just vibe to music on stream at this point. Come on, I can't join the lobby because the lobby is full. Yeah. Come on, Gromulon. What are you doing, Gromulon? Why are you not giving me invitationals? Come on. I am sad. Right, but I don't want to play a quick song, though. Alright, let's go to... where is it? We got some new Post Malone, but I'm not going to play new Posty yet. I'm going to play this. And then go. Dude. Run away, turn away, run away, turn away. I'm just vibing way too hard at the moment, guy. All right, so we are going into now to Champ Select again. We are now into game 2. It does look like they are going to take the Olaf away once again. Not letting that through. I need to turn my music way down because it's a bit loud. So that is going to be then the Silas taken away in the mid lane, along with the Maokai being banned. Maokai was quite an instrumental pick there, especially for Gromulon. So then the Morgana now being taken away from Omega. Jax being taken away from Spartan. And then the Yuumi being taken away from that bot lane of the Flex gang. So now we see that is the Draven hover after the immediate set lock-in. That could be the set top lane. That could be the set support. But that now is going to be the Kale in the top lane. More like scaling. More like scale. Just add an S there and it's scaling. It's right 100% intended that. Without a doubt. But now we are going to... What are we going to be seeing coming up in this second big? Any top looks good here for real, for real. I mean, you could be right, bro. As that is going to be the Sejuani lock-in in the jungle. Then Wukong being picked up. So I do believe these guys do pro drafts. But then we're not streaming the pro drafts. So that is now going to be the Galio in the mid lane for Nino. That is going to be probably set for Spartan. Wukong for Gromulon. And now we are entering the second set of bans. So that is going to be the Darius taken away in the top lane. As they do not think that is the set top. They think that might be the set mid or the set jungle. I think the set jungle, set anywhere else. But then the Mordekaiser being banned away. Interesting set of bans, but then the GP will be immediately taken away. This kind of makes me think that they did a pre-draft. Because some of these bans don't necessarily make sense. Like they've been, I'm assuming that that's what they did. Could you give me the heads up, Omega, if you guys did do a pro draft? But then the Varus is going to be locked in bot lane for Henio. And then the Thresh for Omega, as now that is Jinx Leona in the bot lane. Oh, is that why it goes so quickly? You guys are big brain. Make my life easier. But then what does happen is Henio is on this Varus. He can go anything. He can go AP, he can go AD, he can go lethality, he can go anything he wants. And quite frankly, I think he can get away with it. But then that Aurelion Soul being stolen away from Nino, and then that Jinx also being taken away from Henio, there's just hyper scaling on the side of the Flex gang. Alright, so now we are going to do the prediction once again. Who is going to be taking the next game? Are Era Zenith going to be taking the series? Or are the Flex gang going to be attempting to bring this to a tie? We're going to hope and we're going to pray. We're going to support our boys and gals, if there are any, in this match today. But I do hope all of them do well. Wish them the best of luck. As this is the do or die for this series. Zenith looking quite strong, but one thing for sure is this matchup is quite close. These two teams have been performing very well together, and at the same time have been very much on a knife's edge in a lot of these fights. It's always the micromanagement, the small decisions that make or break this team fight for these two teams. So hopefully we get something good. But I am going to go take a small break. I'm going to get some more water. And I will see you all in 2 minutes and 15 seconds. All right, everybody, we are back and we are getting ready. We are in League of Legends. We are in this game 2, as now we do see could be a little bit more interesting, especially in terms of the scaling and whatnot. Particularly Hextech Spartan now playing the set top lane against a Kale, so that is a ticking time bomb for him, and he's gonna have to figure out a way how to deal with that as soon as possible. Where on the other hand, the Aurelion Soul as well as the Jinx will scale very hard. But it's just a matter of being played correctly. As now Q does land, does hit. They do get the damage off, do get this EC. The Gromulon will get the flash E auto. And that will be the first kill going over to Zenith. Gonna be a very good start for this Wukong. Gonna pick up a little extra long sword and to help with that jungle clear. Only really burnt flash for flash, so jungle flash for jungle flash. Nothing too... the ordinary both Jammies have dashes, so shouldn't be too bad. But what we are looking at is it's very smart plays coming out from the side of Zenith. They played it aggressive. They had the crowd control, get it, opted to go for the W start or the E start, if I believe. Or I don't even know. I wasn't even paying attention realistically to the Galio. I just saw Gromulon go in for that flash auto attack, pick up the kill there. And that is going to be... Oh my goodness, so this does look like it's going to be... It could have possibly been a level 2 cheese, but doesn't look like it's going to happen. But now what Set's going to do... Oh, Galio taking a lot of damage from the Aurelion Soul, but we'll trade out with the Q there. So did not go EOW, did opt for the Q first. Where Henio... Up Q does not connect to KC Kit. But now Spartan does go with the E start, does do a bit of damage there to the Kale. Gonna make sure he abuses it as much as possible while she hits level 6. But wave state wise, level 2 in favor of the Varus and the Thresh. Once again, as now they both tick over there. As Spartan really wants to try and press the attack early in this game. Does not want to give the Kale any breathing room in the early game. Wants to make sure he uses his strength. And once that Kale is ranged, it's going to be a little bit harder for Set to do much there. As Set has finally ticked over to level 3. The Kale will not let that continue. But Varus farming quite well, both Jinx and Varus around the same. Farm is very even across the board, except Kale is suffering. She's about 10 CS behind the Set. Set's making very good use of the early game. Ooh, I'm cooking food for when the match ends. And oof, the food smells good. Alrighty, but now as we're gonna see, there is nothing. I thought something was gonna happen as I said that, but there is nothing really going on here. Unless now Wukong is gonna be contesting the Sejuani. We'll pick up the dragon there. Nino is going to try and go in and is going to grab the Sejuani. Is going to get the stun. Is going to get the taunt off. Demilon does not have flash, but Gromulon will pick up his second kill there. Thresh will land the hook onto Leona, but will not commit any further. Now, one thing's for sure, Gromulon getting this lead does put him in a really, really good spot, especially with this Wukong. Very easy to fight around these AD damage dealers. Very good engage, very good dash. Knockups will help. He can have easy access to that back line. And yeah, we can see what Gromulon can do on the Mount Cab. Now he's on something more aggressive. Curious to see what else he can do there. But now Galio going in for the trade there, but sitting right in the middle of the Aurelion Soul E. Taking a little bit more damage than they would have liked. Set does land the E, but Kale goes for the auto. Does get the cannon minion. Does trade health for the cannon minion. But that's very much what needs to happen. As there's already a 1,000 gold lead in favor of Zenith. Where at this point in time, really don't know what else is available. Wukong wants to go in for the gank here. Varus is going for the poke, is going for the autos. Does drop the lantern. Q does connect onto the Jinx, but the Jinx will immediately flash away. As that is very close to being a shot kill there onto the Jinx. But not going to be enough. Up, and then the flash from Leona. Still gets hit by the Q, but that is no flash on Leona. No cleanse or flash on that Jinx. So that is very easy setup for Gromulon in the future. While Set is still making the most out of this. But level 6 being hit there. As now level 6 will likely be hit soon by this Kale. And then it will no longer be as much fun for him anymore. As Henio gonna go for some plates here. Does only have 2 minions. Is gonna greed for that plate. And he does pop it up. And now Gromulon is gonna be doing the dragon with the Thresh. Gonna be a relatively easy take. The Sejuani is resetting in their blue jungle. Not really much that can be contested. And now that is a... Yeah, that is now dragon picked up by the Wukong. So Kale now TP's top side. Things coming out left and right for that one. But as we see the Gallios trying their best to clear those minions under tower, but do feel that pain. So now Set still going to go in for these aggressive trades despite the Kale being ranged. But now uses his W early. Kale does get the lethal temper, does get the extra attack range. And that is very much, that is an unfortunate trade coming out for Set. Sejuani is also making their way top side now. So Spartan needs to be extra careful before he does anything there. But hitting level 7, so now Kale does have the CS, advantage, does have the level lead as well. But what we're waiting for is some big team fight wombo combo, especially with the Varus ulti paired in with the Galio, Wukong. A lot of big ultis available. Galio can look for very easy runs top side and bot side. But Varus just comfortably farming. 56 CS to 50. And that is just going to keep building. As that is now... Up is going to rather go for the poke on the Jinx. Does not connect. But seems like CS is pretty even across the board. Not really much differentiating these two teams. But there is about 1,200 gold lead. And that is likely the Wukong. As well as possibly the Varus. I don't know entirely for sure. The Galio tries to go for the trades. We'll get the Hextech Alternator proc off on the Winds of Justice. No, it's the Fist of Justice. It's the Winds of Fury. I can't remember what the Q is. But one thing we do need to keep an eye out for is, as I said, the Galio roams. Does have the ability to push these waves really quickly with the passive cooldown on being quite short. Passive being his big mega smackdown. But now Jinx and they are going to be pushing out this wave under tower. Thresh unfortunately gets blocked by Flaminions. And Wukong is going to be looking top side. But Kale does have the range advantage. Can very much beat the Set in a long distance trade. Especially with the lethal tempo being easily procced on that with that range. But now Aurelion Sol also doing exactly what Aurelion Sol did the last game. Just sitting and farming and has built up a very minuscule gold lead with the minions. As well as there's very little gold separating there. Just the gold seems to be all on this Wukong. As Thresh goes in for the hook there. Does land on the Leona, not land on the intended target. But the Varus does drop the chains. Does drop the ulti. We'll get the autos off. And we'll get that kill onto the Leona. As now Henio picks up one. And that is now the bot lane being broken. As Thresh goes in, goes for the flare, does hit the box, does land the Q, ulti goes other direction. And Henio picks up a second kill. As there's a bit of a panic there from the Jinx. Fortunately ulting backwards. And I think there's just, we all have those days. But now that Varus is going to be relatively strong. 4,000 gold. Sitting on 2.3. Now, we'll likely pick up a full mythic item. But there is going to be an engage coming in from the Leona. Just kind of to try and slow down the push. But there also does seem to be preparation going out for this Rift Herald here. But Wukong will pick it up along with the Galio's assistance relatively easily. And with Wukong now trying to path top side, Sejuani will meet him there on that top lane ward. As you see both junglers pathing top. Kayle trying their best to just play the scaling, play the farming along with their Aurelion Sol counterpart. And slowly but surely, Zenith do have the lead. They do have a bit more control, especially in this bot lane now. We're able to break it a little bit there. You know, not unfortunately and able to land the knockup. But Varus does have the full shield bow. So it's going to be very difficult to try and kill that Varus, especially with their attack speed ramping up. And now lethal tempos would be quite easy to proc for the Kayle on this set. The set needs to also be very wary of what the Kayle can do. Just poking for first strike. I swear I could be locked in a room for the rest of my life, hearing the sounds of the first strike proccing and heartsteel proccing, and I would just be satisfied, bro. But now, Henio and Omega do have the lane pressure, and they do have an engage, but Gromulon is there. The ulti does come out from the Varus. They do take down one, but that is support for support. As Henio gets the sidestep there. Sejuani is pathing bot lane now. Varus is going to have to walk away. Does have a shutdown, so needs to be very careful on who they give that to. And Wukong is out of there. As now, Varus wasn't able to pick up that kill. Did get an assist. Wukong is now 3-0 with the Rift Herald in hand. And almost has the full Divine Sunderer. While Set is working towards the Blade of the Rune King. Aurelion Sol has got the Rod of Ages. And Galio's working towards Night Harvester. But one thing we do notice is that Henio will try and play a bit more aggressively. And also opted for the cleanse like the Jinx. Especially with that Leona hard crowd control as well as Sejuani. It can be quite difficult to kite it out. Where Jinx took it for the Thresh, for that Varus ultimate. As well as for the Galio taunt. And with this dragon coming up, it is going to be 4v4. Nino is walking up onto Sejuani and Leona pushing them away. Aurelion Sol is going to remain mid. While Wukong does opt to start the dragon. Omega Hotshot clearing the ward. Jinx is not there. Leona does opt the back. Aurelion Sol not going to fight this. And that does seem like they are going to give that Drake up. That is 4 members down for the dragon. And Zenith now pick up second dragon. It looks like we're going to be getting a Chemtech Soul, boys and girls. Now Gromulon does want to drop the Rift Herald ball lane. Varus does land, does connect, but the immediate cleanse from KC. As now the Rift Herald is dropped, there is no cleanse available, so that hook is a little bit more deadly. As they do want to try and get this tower broken down, and that is going to be a tower going over to Zenith once again. Building that gold lead, 4,000 gold ahead right now. And definitely not showing any sign of stopping. A flash hook coming out from Thresh, but will not connect. But we always got to respect the efforts. Always respect the efforts. As now Kayle gets a little bit of free time with that tower. He's probably going to be able to pick up at least one plate before having to back away. But Set does now have the full Blade of the Rune King. So we'll be doing a lot more damage if he's able to land the I think his E is called the Face Smasher? No, not Haymaker. I can't remember what it's called. So please correct me on what it is, anyone who's watching. But Nino is going to be looking bots. He's going to be rotating bot side with the Varus now going mid. And Thresh coming along top side just to try and assist with the Kayle. She has been farming quite a bit, but is still quite even. There's only about 200 gold ahead of the set, so they are relatively even. But now Kayle is going to be the primary focus in terms of damage. As well as the Aurelion Sol, who've also just been sitting back, relaxing and farming. And Kayle should have her Nash's Tooth now. So that is going to be a Nash's Tooth pick up there along with the Berserkers. Sejuani yet to pick up that first item. Divine Center coming out from Wukong. As well as the Night Harvester now being picked up by the Galio. So bot lane do going top. They are trying to rotate and give as much gold to this Varus as possible. Want to give that tower over to him. But Kale and Sejuani are going to be walking up. A Mega Hotshot is going to have to knock them away. But now the Galio does drum in with the ulti. Kale does use her Judgment Call. Wukong coming in with the massive Cyclone. Thresh picking up one. Galio picking up the second. Orion Soul drops the Sky's Descent. Just to try and get some damage off. But now we are looking at a possible tower dive. That is 4 versus 2. That tower is not going to be able to protect them for very long. A massive ult coming in from the Galio. Rotating very quickly onto the Wukong ultimate. Now that is 3-0 for Gromulon. 2-0 for the Varus. And Galio picking up a kill in that fight as well. As now they're going to be beginning the Rift Herald. Gonna get this quite quickly with 4 members starting it. One thing I have to hand about this roster is they are rotating like LCS players. They're all keeping an eye on one another. These ultis coming out absolutely clutch, saving the carries. And that is still a 4,500 gold lead in favor of Zenith. But Galio going to be sitting in that top lane while Varus and Thresh will go mid. We'll probably pick up that tower as well, funneling more and more gold into the Varus. While Set's going to look to rotate bot side. Jinx does now pick up the Kraken Slayer, so does have a little bit of damage now. But don't know if that's necessarily going to be enough right now, with Varus being quite far ahead. As they do want to look for a commit in the mid lane. They know that Kayle does not have ultimate available. So we gotta hope that something good comes out there. As now Grumpy Grump runs away. Does not want anything to do with the Jinx or the Leona. But the Varus should have... Yeah, Varus has Jinsu's on base, so now that is a 2-item Varus. Very scary. Considering 2,000, just under 2,000 gold ahead of this Jinx right now. The Galio sitting 200 gold ahead of the Aurelion Sol. Wukong sitting very comfortably 2,000 gold ahead of Sejuani. Set and Kayle only about 400, 300 gold apart, with the support gold being 1,000 gold in favor of Thresh. As you can see, Leona still yet to pick up that first mythic item, while Thresh also again goes for the even Shroud. Thresh goes for the steal, barely misses it by 2 HP. Very unfortunate there. As now they do want to look for an engage in the mid lane. They do get a drop of control and they are spotted. And now, does look like we are going to be heading onto the next dragon. Yeah, this is the 3rd dragon. And Sejuani looking to the reset, so does not look like they are going to be contesting this 3rd dragon. They are just going to give it up. Jinx does drop the ultimate, but does not do much to Mr. Gromulon. As once more, this is in favor of Zenith. They pick up the 3rd dragon. Hook does go wide. Varus does land the ulti. Does land the piercing arrow. Does do quite a little bit of damage over to KC. If that was Lethality Varus or AP Varus, that would have been a very dead Jinx. But right now, going to drop the Rift Herald once again. Hook does land onto the Leona. Does go with the Flay. Just to try and put some poke damage down. But it does look like they are going to get this tower. Set in the top lane. There's like there is going to be a fight happening onto Galio from the Radiant Soul. Hook does land onto the Jinx, but the Jinx will immediately cleanse it. Thresh looking for the next hook. Oh, and does the thread the needle. Hands it onto the Jinx. Gromulon lands the Cyclone in the back line. Galio coming in with the ultimate. They are going for the massive tower dive. Splitting the aggro absolutely amazingly as Zenith get the 4-man dive and nobody dies. Absolutely amazing hook coming from Mega Hotshot, and then he kind of gives us that. Thresh have their days. Threshes have their days. They land these godlike 1 million threading a needle hooks, and then they miss the point blank ones. Very much relatable as a Thresh player. So I can understand that. But really, really good play coming out there from Mega Hotshot, getting that excellent hook onto the Jinx, especially just after she had burned the cleanse, and then gets absolutely blown up with the Wukong Galio Wombo combo. And now the gold lead has since further grown to around 5,500 gold, almost 6,000 gold. The Leona has now picked up the lockets, so that is her first item, where the Varus is now looking to build the Wit's End. Just gonna try and deny that Aurelion Soul Kale damage, as well as the Sejuani doing a bit of magic damage herself, and the Leona. So Wit's End being a really good buy here. The Radiant Verger has been acquired by Sejuani, so playing a bit more towards that team fight, but does look like they want to start Baron. Oh, but Mega Hotshot flies over the wall at, like, I forgot Mega Hotshot was not an enemy. For a second I thought an enemy just popped over and that was just game over. And that person just sacrificed themselves to the gods. As now we see that this is going to be a Baron startup for Zenith. They should be able to do this quite quickly. There is no vision, but they do have suspicions. Kale does walk over, their hook does land onto the Sejuani. So the Sejuani is now fully aware. Kale is on the other side as well. Jinx Rocket does land, does a bit of damage over to Henio. Henio misses the change of corruption. But that will be a very easy Baron smite up for Wukong. Wukong drops silence onto Kale, but Jinx does get the backline auto attacks. Kale shuts down the Varus. Spartan is in the back line. But then Gromulon is taken out by Jinx as well. Sets in the back line as well, but cannot do a lot of damage. They get the Baron, but they at what cost as the Aurelion Soul comes in, cleans up. Jinx gets double kill there, and that is an ace for the Flex gang. My goodness, guys. Kale was very much going on onset in that backline. They were trying to get rid of her, but her ultimate keeping her alive as long as need possible, while the Varus couldn't really go anywhere with that. So we'll give a little bit of a gold boost in favor of the Flex gang. They are going to be only 2,000 gold behind now, no longer 5. But they still got a long way to go. They still got a bot lane tier 1 tower to take. They still got plenty of lanes to push. They are still got 4 dragons to get in a row to prevent Soul. Where Zenith have all the power, they have all the execution, they have the items and the damage. And it's all just a matter of if Zenith know how to close this game out. One thing's for sure, they are going to look to play this a little bit more aggressively. So I'm going to wait for the Jinx to make a mistake just to walk up. But Aurelion Soul wants to farm up to get the Skies Descend. Well, Jinx is going to be walking the long way around. Henio Gromulon, and then they are going to catch the Jinx there. Varus ulti goes wide, but KC Kit is going to walk away. Wukong does get the E, does get over the traps, and that is a dead Jinx. My goodness, that is a dead one. So now that is main DPS out. Kale is topside, does have the TP available, but wants to try and maybe push that lane out. It is going to be a 4 versus 3 if Kale does choose to stay, as now that final Chemtech Dragon is going to be started up by Zenith, and they are already getting it on half HP. There's no one going to be able to contest it there in time, so that is going to be Soul Point going over to Zenith. And Chemtech Soul is quite a dangerous one. The lower they get, the less damage they take. They get a bit more tenacity, a bit more slow resistance. I could be wrong, but I'm going to hover over and take a look. So nope, I am wrong. It's only showing the Cloud Dragon in that one. It's not showing the other ones. Alright, so that's the movement speed, slow resistance. And that is the missing health. And this is just damage taken at low HP and I believe, and more damage. Could be very wrong. I'm probably very wrong, but here we are. So now we are in that point, at that point in the game where the gold is still, it's 2,000 gold lead in favor of Zenith, but right now that Kale does have 3 items. Has a Rabadon's, has a Nash's Tooth, and has that Rift Maker. So if that Kale is not taken out of that team fight, she will absolutely annihilate that back line. As now Nino gonna immediately ult away, does spot them all. So now that Nino will get out quite quickly. But that's one big engage tool they no longer have with the Galio ultimate. But they still do have 4 more. As now the Jack Show is purchased by Set, so that is 2 items available there. Aurelion Soul doing the Aurelion Soul things. Hex Tech Flash Hook going over there. Aurelion Soul does drop the Sky Descent. Varus then taking a lot of burn damage. Wukong drops a Cyclone. Thresh Hook does land. But there's a lot of healing coming out from Sejuani, but Varus heat scaling out. Kale makes it into the fray. They are going to try and keep the Kale as far away as possible. As the massive Haymaker coming out, doing a lot of damage over to the Sejuani. But this Kale came in at the opportune time. Varus was low, had to back out. And the Galio had to flash over the wall into the Raptor's pit there. Sejuani does not have the flash, does not have the ultimate available. But there will be a flash immediately from the Varus there. We'll take down one. But Kale will get that shutdown. And this is looking up for Flex Gang, as they now too have pushed out to those tier 1 turrets into tier 2, have that 1,000 gold lead, and have that hyper scaling. So if you are Zenith right now, you need to make sure that that Kale does not get into your backline. That is the level 16 Kale. The bomb has gone off. She is very, very strong. And at this point, you got to get rid of her early. If she is able to scale on further, pick up more and more items, she is going to be an absolute mission to deal with. And I'm going to say it before. I know I said it before. I'm going to say it again. Henio has a vision score of 2. He has placed a single ward. I don't even think he's played. I think he's placed 1 ward this whole game. Henio, you gotta chat about this, man. You gotta chat about this. You gotta pick up a blue ward, bro. Come on, man. But now, with Baron spawning and with the Chemtech Soul, there is still a very big chance that Zenith could walk away with this game. They do just need to catch out that Kale without her ultimate off guard. Varus does land the ulti onto the Kale there. Does land the Empower W. The hook does not connect. That is no Chains of Corruption available for Varus. As there was an opportunity, they did see it, but that Kale is now full health again. As the Void Staff is picked up, and the Leona does get hit by Thresh Hook. A lot of damage coming out there. But that is a Void Staff pickup for Kale. That is 4 items. She is very scary. Kale does get hit by the hook once again. Gala goes in for the engage. They burst Kale down. She is not able to get the ultimate off in time. This is all hands on deck for Zenith. They know this is their time to shine. Glacier Prison coming out onto Gromulon. But the Varus is auto-taking the back line. Get the maximum attack speed. The Cleanse coming out. Cleanses that Ignite. Picks up another kill there. As Varus walking in, but does get hit by the lot of the damage from the Aurelion Soul. With the Chemtech Dragon barely keeping them all alive. So they take down the Kale. And they take down the Leona. This does mean they can set up for Baron. That Kale pick was absolutely instrumental to their winning this game. And it does mean that they can secure this Baron relatively easily. Now with the set, with the Wukong and with the Varus, they are going to get this Baron relatively quickly. I know I've said relatively way too many times, and I probably should donate every time I say relatively. But we are going to be seeing, yeah, final items coming out across the board. We do see a bunch of stopwatches being picked up. Stopwatch for Wukong, stopwatch for Varus, and we do see a Wit's End into Runon's Hurricane for him. The Kale has picked up the Lord Dominix as well as the Phantom Dancer. The Aurelion Soul is about to finish the Archangel's Staff, so that Aurelion Soul is going to be very scary too. A lot of scaling, but I think the Kale is the main focus. And with this Elder Dragon up, this is the decider between these two teams. Who is going to take this series? And is Era going to be the 2 teams in a row now to take the series? Aurelion Soul wants to stack up for the Grand Starfall. No, the Grand Starfall and the Sky's Descent. So the Sky's Descent is available. Wukong gonna have to back out of there. Does get hit out there. Thresh does land the hook onto Sejuani. but will not go any further. Gromulon taking a little bit low, but the tenacity, the extra tenacity shielding from Green Smite will save him there. It's all a matter of patience, all about getting that pick, getting that one crucial thing. Kale drops into the back line there. Hino does land the taunt onto the Kale. Kale is kiting it out as well as he can. Jinx doing a lot of damage. Henio's almost dead. Shutdown coming out from the Jinx. Takes down one. Kale gets this lethal tempo stack. That is 3. That is 4. That is Sparta being taken down. That is 5. And that is Elder being picked up by Le Flex Gang. As that is an ace for the Jinx, who is now 7-3 for 5. 600 gold shutdown. The scaling is just a little bit too much for Zenith to deal with. And right now, they are, it looks like they are going to try and press the attack into this bot lane. Kale is there. 8 for 2 for 4. 7 gold shutdown. 332 CS at 30 minutes. Over 10 CS a minute for the Kale. And one thing's for sure, you do not want to be standing in that Kale's way. She will absolutely annihilate anyone and everyone who stands there. No, very little magic resist picked up from Zenith. Only magic resist realistically being picked up is by set. Well, hard magic resist items is the set and the Varus. A couple of merc trades here and there, but the hard MR items are going to be what you need against this Kale. Now, Zonya's coming up for Galio. As now the dragon, the Varus does get leashed the red buff. And it does look like they're going to be yoinking a lot of each sides of the jungle. Now, there are only inhib towers available to Zenith. They have got the soul, but Elder Dragon is quite overpowered. The execute range can make it easy for Hill to actually just shred through entire teams. They take down to that final tier 2 tower. Hook does land, Varus does land the auto, does land the ulti onto Leona, but the Varus is going to have to walk away. Massive big AoE coming in from the Aurelion Soul, kiting it out as well as they can. Cleanse coming out from Henio, kiting so well. Kale being taken out, but the Judgment Call gets summoned. Henio goes golden, Kale goes golden as well. Henio kiting it out, but it is not enough. As now Kale will continue walking further. Aurelion Soul getting that shutdown. Jinx getting excited as that is now GG, well played, as the Flex Gang take it to a tie, and it is now win is going to be 1-1 for the series. That Kale coming in absolutely mad clutch there at the end. And we do see it is the Kale coming out, on the Varus coming out on top with the damage, 30,000. Kale coming 26, 25k for the Jinx. A lot of damage here by all these carries. But at the end of the day, scaling was just too much in favor of the Flex Gang, especially with the Kale and the Aurelion Soul. There's just, at that point, you're just on a timer and you have to make sure that you punish them early and end early. So it is a 1-1, and that is going to be a draw for the series. So GG well played over to Zenith, GG well played over to the Flex Gang. And now we are going to be giving out the points. Okay, so we're just going to delete it because no one voted. But yeah, so that is also quite loud. I just realized I need to turn that way down. So yeah, even if you look at the damage graphs there, no surprises on where the damage was on all three of these carries. It was a game of ADC basically, and then the Kale coming out clutch. All right. But from me at the caster's desk, thank you to everybody that came to watch. Thank you to everybody who popped into the stream, even if you just to say hi, even just support your boys and gals. But from me over here, I hope you guys all enjoy the rest of your evenings, and I wish you all the best for this new week coming. I am going to be doing some variety streams this week, and I am likely to be playing some horror games. I did a small poll on Twitter, and so we are going to be picking up some horror games here and there. I will do another one just to figure out what kind of horror games you guys want to see me play. So I will see you all in the next one, and have a good evening.